Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Chuck Graham Show. I haven't done a podcast in quite some time, but I couldn't resist when I came across this story. You know, I'm an animal guy. I don't really hunt that much because I don't really like to taste the deer meat. So to all you hunters out there that hunt deer and elk and moose and bear and all that, more power to you. This is not a referendum on anti-hunting. It's not what this is about. This is about stupidity and killing a domestic animal by two dipshits. Frank, I forget his last name. I'll post it in there. But Amber Rose, which is his girlfriend, posted on Facebook. And according to the New York Post, she claimed that she mistaken the Husky that she killed. It was a dog, a domestic dog. She claimed that she mistaked it for a wolf. Well, either she's an idiot, or she's lying. And I said that when I read the article. I said she's either an idiot or she's lying. And come to find out, her well-educated dumbass as a boyfriend, Frank, he goes and posts on Facebook that, let's see. He says that it was a dog. It was dumped out. The dog was dumped out. So he just refuted everything she said, everything that was reported. And so now it wasn't a mistake. She actually meant to kill the damn dog, right? Well, bad news for Frank's girlfriend. If the Montana Fish and Wildlife want to go after her ass under 45-8-211 for the cruelty to animals. Any person commits the offense of cruelty to animals if without justification he knowingly or neglectly subjects an animal to mistreatment or neglect by killing an animal, subsection A. Now, this, and I'm reading this from the case law, because a lot of times you have to be careful, because when you're dealing with statutory laws, you'll have case law that interpret the statute and set the parameters for what justifies or does not justify killing of the animals. And that's in State versus Walters back in 1994. Now, I sent that over to the Montana Fish and Wildlife. And so if they choose to do that, I would hope that their county prosecutor would know what that says and has dealt with that before. But there's not a whole lot of case law on cruelty to animals in Montana. There's probably 7-8 cases. That's it. Most of them deal with livestock or places that hoard animals or adopt animals out even. I read through quite a bit of it because it concerned me, because not only did she kill the Husky, she skinned it, put the skin in the back of the truck. Now, okay, let's say for 1 second that she mistakenly, I can understand the skinning of the animal. But if boyfriend Frank is correct and she knowingly shot that dog and skint the dog, yeah, I wouldn't want her around my Fido. Let me just say this. In most cases, at least in here in Mississippi, you have an elevated status when it comes to domestic animals, folks. And this moron thinks that he understands what the statute is. But let me share something with you. On cited case law in State versus Walter, they cited and you can go look it up if you want. To justify the killing of a dog in defense of property, there must be an apparent necessary for the defense, honestly believing to be real, and the acts of defense must be in themselves be reasonable. Or in other words, it is necessary to show that the danger from its attack was imminent at the time, and that the injury cannot otherwise be prevented. The only way you can justify, and it goes on, you can read the case law. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you, but it goes on. Some of it's dealing with chickens. There has to be an imminent issue there. There was none. There's no justification for what they did. And let's just say that they're going to claim that there was an imminent threat. The dog was growling, was coming at you. Pow, you shot him. Why'd you skin him? Jesus Christ. You wouldn't shoot an intruder and then, hey, Bill, just grab him up and let's put him in the barn and we're going to skin him. I don't think you do that. I really don't. I don't think this was any act of self-defense. I think this was just cold-blooded maliciousness. Domestic animals, folks, have an elevated status. Why? Because they can't fend for themselves. We domesticated them. They're not out there in the wild defending for themselves. And, you know, I was always raised, and I was raised on a pretty big tract of land, and we all hunted. And the fact of the matter is, but I was always raised, you don't kill what you don't eat. If you're not going to eat it, don't kill it. And that's just rule of thumb. I'm not a big fan of big game hunting. I'm talking lions and tigers and shit like that. I'm not talking about elk or moose or whatever. People have 14 freezers full of moose. If you kill one of them damn things, you won't have to worry about meat for, I don't know, a year, 2, 3, depending on the size of your family. But I digress. My point being is this. These people should be charged. They should be charged under that statute. Or she should. And he should. They should find something. They can always find some kind of conspiracy to commit it. The fact is this, and I'm not saying trump up charges on him. I mean, you can. It's a common knowledge that you have the right to be a dipshit in this country. The point being is this: she should be charged. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't a mistake of, oh, I was, I didn't know it was a wolf. Really? Wolves stand about 3 foot at the shoulders, fully grown, and you thought that a 1.5 foot husky was a pup wolf? No, not even. This woman's an idiot. And she posted on Facebook. I might even add that you might want to dig around in the Lacey Act. Might be able to find something there. Was she in Montana? Did she cross county? Did she go across the state? I doubt very seriously that happened. But there is so many laws on the books, folks. You can't spit without violating one of them, especially if you're hunting. And what I meant by the Lacey Act, just go look it up. There are some gnarly stuff there. You bring a fish from a foreign country that it's not illegal for you to possess it here, but it's illegal over there. You just violated the Lacey Act, and by God, here we go. That's a felony. There's a lot of things. Can't cross state lines with alligators either. That's a felony. There's a lot of stuff that's wrong with this situation, but I think it's going to be a state matter, and I don't think it's going to be a felony. One could say it's aggravated animal cruelty. You could push it that way, but is it? I think you could probably get a jury to convict her ass of a felony aggravated animal cruelty just by the skin in the back of the truck. If I was the district attorney, that's exactly what she'd get charged with. I'm sorry. If the Montana Fish and Wildlife does not charge her, then I don't think there's any way you could charge anybody else with anything. I don't give a shit if the animal was dumped or not. There are criteria and steps that you have to go through under Montana law to be able to dispatch an animal. And I read in this particular case law, I read where some of the cited cases there where a man shot a dog because he had previously killed 15 of his chickens. And the court ruled that no, the vengeance justification does not hold water. If he wasn't at the time engaging in those activities, no, you can't do that. Go read the cited case laws. It's interesting. I mean, she's fucked if they decide to do it because there is case law that's going to hammer her. And I think it's aggravated animal cruelty. That's just my take on it. Guys, if you like the video, hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and you can hear all my nonsense at some other time. And if you learn something on this video, it's probably my mistake. So the whole point is this. If you're not going to eat it, don't kill it. And leave people's dogs alone. I got a neighbor down the road. His Husky comes up here all the time. And when he gets out, about once a month, once every 2 months, 3 months, something like that, he'll get out and come up and visit. And then they'll come get him. But I'm just saying, folks, this is some gnarly stuff. And Montana, you need a charger. But I digress, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye-bye.